Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. So friends, checking in on the action. So we had one of the good old-fashioned support breaks straight into a bounce where we had 65.26 as the lowest price that we've seen on this current consolidation. We broke that level, flushed to 64.30, and then got that V-shaped recovery. The bulls proved it to me on that V-shaped recovery with their quick little 5-minute higher low and then continuation. And again, short-term spikes mean nothing unless we get follow through. So there's our spike letting us know the bulls are attempting their move. We pulled back, and then as soon as we broke that high, that's convincing to me that we had some follow through. All that being said, I personally have not made a trade at this point. I was patiently waiting, and I did have a bid that would have filled at that level initially, but as soon as I saw the 4-hour sideways trading and the RSI cool off, that was enough for me to pull my bids and move them a bit lower. So that was me being extra cautious, and I was not rewarded for that extra caution. So here I am all cash, which is perfectly fine. The bulls still have a ton of proving to do on a lot of time frames. We don't even have an hourly trend change yet. The bulls are hoping this is an hourly bull flag of healthy consolidation. Then we will need a 4-hour trend change, and then we will need a daily trend change. It would be meaningful for me if we do change this daily trend bullish after this support break. And that just shows us the bears running out of any momentum or follow through, and then the bulls taking over again. And the bulls have not shown us a daily trend change since we broke 9,000 bearish. Pretty much since the 40% spike to 10,500, we have not seen a daily higher low and higher high. So that's my anti-FOMO. It would have been nice to get this bounce, and congrats to the bulls that did get this bounce, but I'm not here rushing to enter a position because anything under 7,300 is just a daily lower high. We have daily exponential resistance to be watching, and if we can see a significant enough bounce with multiple days of follow through that then give us high odds to form a daily higher low once the top has been set. For example, if we were to bounce and top out at 7,100, there's not a ton of space to form a daily higher low and higher high. If we were to bounce, break 7,300, then we have a good bit of space to try and form that higher low and higher high. So at this point, I would be looking for an entry. If we get a satisfactory enough bounce that I'm going to anticipate a daily higher low as a result, I may look to enter that higher low, and then I'll have the stop level of 64.30 to be playing off of. I took extra caution because there was no level to be playing off of once 65.26 support broke. So ETH, everything's going to be doing similar things that what we just saw Bitcoin doing. So ETH trying to bounce. You can see ETH, really anything under 152 is just a daily lower high. So we're not even close to seeing a meaningful bounce. Yes, great gains, nice move off the low, nice little 10% bounce, but a lot of proving on a lot of time frames. So again, just to clarify, hourly trend change is needed first, then a 4-hour trend change, and then the daily trend change is what will really prove to me that we have shifted momentum. ETH BTC, clear flush and drop to lower lows. The weekly equilibrium broke bearish, and we're now only looking down at 16.14 as the support level. And as long as we are in a weekly downtrend for ETH BTC, I am more interested than Bitcoin bullish than I am ETH bullish. Resistance on the weekly, anything under 2182 is just a weekly lower high. LTC, nice little bounce. Daily exponential resistance hasn't been tested. A lot of proving left to do. Need this bounce to follow through with another couple green days in a row. And need the daily trend change. Bears are going to be waiting for entries at daily exponential resistances, anticipating daily lower highs. And if I were a bear looking for a position, I would want to see the 4-hour time frame get as extended as possible heading into that daily exponential resistance test. LTC BTC, clear drop to lower lows, lowest price we've seen in, I believe, a couple years. 522 is the only support level nearby, and that price was from 2017. So I have no interest in LTC. It's either going to be Bitcoin or Ethereum, and right now the ETH BTC chart is telling me it's Bitcoin. So XRP, which is our lead bear name, not even close to anybody else that we look at, is this bearish. And that is because we have dropped down to multiple year lows. And this is on Coinbase. Let's look at an exchange that has more history. Lowest price since pre-2017 insanity. And again, that's a huge red flag. So we're in a scenario right now where anything on the daily chart under 233 is just a lower high. Same thing, exponential resistance, a long ways away. We could see another 10% move before we get to the daily exponential resistance. If we can change daily and weekly trends, I will change my tune, but as long as we are more bearish than everybody else, I will keep shouting that from the mountaintops that XRP is the weakest cryptocurrency that I keep track of. And again, it's not even close, because nobody else is dropping down to the lowest price in seen multiple years out of all the names that we're looking at here. Binance, also very weak, daily exponential resistance. Anything under 1498 is just a little daily lower high, keeping the bears in complete control. The difference here is we held the low of yesterday on Binance, and if we look at all the other names, most of them broke the low of yesterday to see this bounce initiated. So a little bit of extra support to be watching on Binance. We can see Litecoin only broke support by 28 cents, but Binance did not break support, so it's a daily inside bar, but still needs the same trend change as everybody else. Link USD also dropped down to a clear lower low. Anything under 212 is just a daily lower high, and the weekly time frame now is getting a little bit less clear. Let's look at the 2-week chart, try and smooth things out. 144 is a must-hold level, and there is a potential bottom fishing play off of that level. The current low we saw just dropped down to 163, so getting fairly close, but watching for the bulls to hold that support to try and see a tightening 2-week range. Have to see a daily trend change for a 2-week higher low to form. And last, we'll wrap it up with XTZ, the only name in a daily uptrend right now. And you could make the argument that we lost it here with a higher low being set, a failed bull break, and then a drop to a lower low, but certainly stronger than everybody else. So support is down at 139. Currently a bounce underway, trying to change the hourly trend like everybody else. 4-hour chart will have to change the trend as well. A lot of work to do for the bulls to be confident that the daily higher low is established. Weekly inside bar is forming. So if you are not in a position at this point and looking bullish, it would take an aggressive bull to want to enter on hourly consolidation. Again, just because there's so much more proving to do on longer term time frames. I personally will be waiting for the daily chart to dictate a momentum shift for me. Other than that, bears are waiting at daily exponential resistance for another re-entry. The more extended the bulls are on the 4-hour time frame heading to daily exponential resistance, the better. And other than that, establish your game plans. If you are playing in this bounce play, ideally, best case scenario is you've scaled out to lock in some partial profit and put a stop below the low, and ideally that stop would be break even, all depending on your entry. Just an example, let's say I bought 10 Bitcoin at 6,500 on the way down, then we bounced, and let's say I sold half of them at 6,700. I can now put my stop level below 6,430 and ride that half position with zero risk whatsoever. Worst case scenario, I will make small profit, and that personally has been my stock trading style for December. Small trades, get into break-even scenarios as soon as possible, and then ride out the other half, and it's been going really well. So I highly suggest playing around with that style of trading. It's probably been one of the best improvements that I've made in the last 3 years to my own trading game. So, congrats for the bounce. Let's see if it can follow through. Tomorrow will be a key day. Need a green day tomorrow. If it's a red day, that will be a short-term red flag that tells us this bounce doesn't have a whole lot of momentum. Thanks again. Do good things out there, and we'll see you soon. It's 3 a.m. I got work in the morning, and you Blue Jays in my front yard. Bunch of punks, supposed to be tough. What, square up. You want to go? Get out of my front yard. Hey, you. What you doing? Someone, throw down. Let's go. Hey, kid, you think you're tough? It's my corn. It's my yard. Get out of here, punks. Go to bed. It's my corn. My yard. I'm a brown thrasher.